Hello, my name's Paul Fearis. So in this final section, we're going to look at how we extract need statements from the observations that we made out in the field, as we talked about in previous videos. And as I've said before, of course, observational research and needs finding is a process. And that process has 4 phases. We've covered the first phase, planning, the second phase, research, which was our field work. We're now going to look at the analysis phase, and then finally a short phase on the end of that, which we call prioritization, which is ordering our analysis into a hierarchy of unmet needs. Using observational research to identify needs in the analysis section, we carry out 2 main tasks. The first one of those is translating the insight that we gathered in the field into need statements, and then grouping or clustering, sometimes the word used is affinitizing, those needs together in order to reduce the number for subsequent prioritization. And the reason for doing that will become clear when you actually start to do field research. Before we start, I really want to put a warning in your mind, which is that the most important aspect of the needs analysis process is do not rush to solutions. Taking some time to go through the analysis process will expand our understanding of the entire problem and some of the underlying causes, perhaps, for why something that we observed happened. And if we do that, it'll make our solutions ultimately better. So despite the temptation to rush to solutions, just slow down and bear with me through this next part of the video. The analysis stage takes our mind map and insights and it translates them into stakeholder needs. And it does it in a consistent syntax that also expresses the context behind the need. And we try and do this at a constant or fairly constant level of abstraction. And we try and do that without conveying a solution. And I'll give you an example of that later on. So if you think of it kind of graphically on the left-hand side of this page, you can see that we start with the insight that we gathered in the field, the thing that we saw happen. And the temptation, of course, is to try and jump straight to, I know what they need. But there are a couple of steps in between. The first step is what we call root cause analysis, and that root cause analysis, which is getting to the underlying issue as to why something happened, then leads to, so what they really need is X, Y, or Z. And then often, if we go and do multiple observations around, say, changing tyres in garages or on the side of the road, we'll start to see the same problem appear in multiple instances. So we can then start to cluster or affinitize those together to reduce the number.